Hello everybody, thank you for joining us. We are here at PAY360 here in London. My name is Tyler Paith. I'm a journalist for the Fintech Times, and I'm very happy to be joined today by Denise Johansson of Enfuce. Denise, how are you?
I'm good, thank you. Lovely to be here.
Thank you for joining us. Well, before we get into our conversation, why don't you introduce yourself to our audience?
Yes. Denise Johansson, I'm a co-founder and co-CEO of Enfuce.
That's fantastic. Well, co-founder of Enfuce.
Yes.
That's really fantastic. Can you tell us a little bit more about what the inspiration and purpose of founding the company was?
Very good question. I would say there are always two sides of a founding story. One is that you think you have an idea or you believe you can do something better than how it's done today. And then probably also that you might be lacking opportunities. You might be stagnated where you are today. And it was definitely like that for me. I knew that there must be a better way to enable other financial institutions, to enable the financial industry to develop faster. And as well, I wasn't too happy where I was in my career at that time. So actually, what did I have to lose than to jump up and see what it is to build and drive something.
Fantastic. And who is your main audience of Enfuce?
It is the full financial industry. So it can be anything from a tier 1 banks to a newly started fintech, to a merchant, to the fleet and fuel sector. So we have quite a broad spectrum. But so many are processing payments today, and payment processing is what we do. So that's then why we get such a broad audience.
Fantastic. Well, it's a good job that you're here at PAY360, right in the center of everything. I did get a chance to walk just past your booth when I arrived, but unfortunately I haven't had much time to leave this seat today. But
no.
Hopefully when I get a chance, we'll be able to catch up at the booth. That'd be really nice.
Yes.
In terms of your operations across Europe, you're servicing debit cards, credit cards, prepaid cards. We've seen a lot of the issues a business might face in scaling across new jurisdictions, not just Europe. But can you tell us a little bit more about what challenges you encountered in that process of expansion?
I actually believe, and this might be a little against what all the investors want to hear, etc., but I don't think that you should go too fast, too soon. I think you need to scale under control. So it is a financial industry. We are processing other people payments, businesses payments. So you need to have your operations under control. And I think that sometimes I would like to go faster, like I want to reach some goals. But then on the other hand, looking at what's happening within the industry today, I'm quite confident that our slower pace has been the right one, because we are always prioritizing the way we operate, compliance, security. And if you fail even once on any of those, you might be out of business the next day. So you really don't afford that. So I think we have taken it fairly slow, and then the struggle have maybe been my own frustration. There is a will to move faster, but then again, I do understand that let's stick to our plan. Let's do this under control.
I do 100% agree with what you said. I think sometimes if you watch businesses expand too fast or maybe reach beyond what their current capabilities are, it can open gaps.
Yes.
And gaps become wider and they become bigger problems.
Yes.
So I think this sort of measured, tailored approach to your expansion is really good to hear. In terms of the key trends that we're seeing at PAY360 so far, being on the first hour of the first day, I've seen a lot of different banners for sustainability.
Yes.
Maybe we can talk a little bit more about Enfuce's commitment to sustainability. What does that look like today?
Yeah. Well, I think here comes to play me and my co-founder Monica. We are both females. We are both moms, and we need to pave the way for our daughters. we want to show them that they have equal opportunities as the boys we raise. So in that way, gender equality is very important for us. But we also want to leave this world a better place than when we entered it. Like, I really hope everyone starts to feel that in their core today, because it's so important. And of course, then we need to look at what business are we within? What can we do? How can we stand in front of our children when they are in their 20s, 30s and asking us, like, what did you do? Like, look at the world we are living in. What did you do when you had the power to do? And then I want to stand there tall and I want to say we actually did something. We took actions. We provide CO2 calculations on all transaction data processed through our platform. We do calculate our own CO2 emission. We want to understand where, like, how does it look today and what small things can we do to improve that. And then we also want to be involved in other ESG innovations, like the Payment Association just are about to launch. And of course we are participating in that because that's what the whole industry needs. They need to see good examples of what can be done, because it's not enough to sit back and say, well, what could we be doing in our corner? Well, everyone can do something. So it is about facing up to that. Find your own small ways of contribute.
That's exactly bang on, really. I mean, I think businesses, and especially ones with reputations like Enfuce, they really do have to deliver this sort of sustainable initiative. I think it's so expected of the end consumer right now. So it's really, really good to hear that you're making such big movements in that space. I mean, that was just one small trend of the industry. Well, a major trend, of course, but just a fraction of the trends that we're seeing in the industry. Can you maybe share a little bit about what you're seeing aside from the sustainability? What trends are you seeing in payments at the moment?
I do think there is a lot of focus of the B2B payments, because so long their sole focus have been on consumer, how to enable like easier life for us as consumers. But now the trend is shifting more and more, because actually it us being entrepreneurs, it's us running the businesses as well, and we want to have as smooth transactions made for the business as we do in our everyday life. And I think B2B is taking more and more space. But I also tend to see here we are more looking into fraud, security, compliance, AML, KYC. Like, there is a huge trend, and I think again, looking at what's happened in the industry the last months, the last years, I think this is something that will just build up more and more.
I mean, you've got to really.
Yes.
Because all I'm seeing at the moment is payment fraud going up and up and up, and you've sort of got to outpace the criminals in a way, because they always find a way to innovate and find new ways of attack.
Yes.
So it's really, really good to see that that's sort of a really central focus for Enfuce, of course. In terms of elsewhere in your business, you've got some exciting projects and partnerships going on at the moment. Can you tell us a little bit about what that activity looks like?
Yeah, well, as a founder, I'm thrilled to meet other founders who listen to their journeys, understand why they are doing what they are doing. And one really great partnership is with Science Cards. And that's scientists bringing science into payments. And I think both the story behind the company is so great, and I think it's such a great collaboration between Science Card and Enfuce. So that's really cool, and that's fairly recently announced. And we will have more and more of that coming out throughout the spring. And each and every one is, I'm just excited, because there needs to be the real why in behind, and you need to find the win-win. And that's how you build partnership, and you need partnership to survive in the long run.
What will your partnership with Science Card deliver?
So we are the processor engine behind their payment card. Yes. So they bring the science, they bring the like touch and feel for the end users, and then we are the enabler behind that. So we have the processing and the card issuing capabilities that they just utilize for their service.
They've made a very good choice, I think.
Thank you.
So you touched a little bit on some of your earlier answers about the importance of female representation in the industry. You mentioned that Monica, who I've actually met before, you're two female founders of Enfuce. Unfortunately, in the payments industry and in the wider financial industry, we're not quite there with gender inclusion in every level of the workplace. What can we do, from your perspective, to foster more inclusion in the workplace?
Oh, I'm going to be bold here again. But if you walk around here and you look at the stands, I'm pissed off, I was about to say, but I'm pissed off at how many stands you will only male only. They don't even bring the females to the event. And I wouldn't like to be the company in today's world and be fronting male only, and then you have like 4, 5, 6 people at your stand. Like the first thing is to start to think, how do I bring forward the females that we do have? Because girls, females, they need to see role models. Like both mine and Monica's daughters, they are going to be CEOs of a fintech when they grow up. Because that's what they know. Girls can be CEOs, and it's cool to run a fintech. So the role modeling is everything, and everyone can start by showing off, because I'm sure they do have women within the companies. So give them a greater seat at the table than what they are having today. Show that you have them, because that's how you are going to attract more females to your company.
And you've got to really sort of bring that forward, as you said. You know, you've got to put those women in the limelight and not hide them away.
Exactly.
I think it creates a good visual for other, not just for other, the future generations to aspire to, but other businesses as well. You know.
Yeah.
I think if your business is not putting forward enough women, but everybody around you is, it sort of makes you ask a few internal questions, like, oh well, what am I doing wrong here? You know.
Yes.
But in terms of Enfuce and being a female-founded company, I think that's really, really promising, and a bit of I wouldn't say anomaly, but it is very rare it's too rare. It's a concerning trend that we're seeing. Yeah. But hopefully it's conversations like these that will begin to turn the tide on that level of gender representation in the industry. In terms of being such a successful fintech founder, I'm sure anybody who's watching this now who's thinking of establishing a fintech company or a related company in the industry will be very interested to know what they can do to replicate the kind of success that Enfuce and yourself have enjoyed. What advice would you give to them?
2 advices. Don't set up a plan B, because if you're setting up a plan B for yourself, there will be times when you are just wanting to grab that plan B, because it's going to be rough. And the second one is resilience. Don't give up. It is going to be tough. You will face challenges that you haven't thought of, more than you believe that you can handle. But you have made your decision to go into founding, then stick with that and make sure you find your own success, because you can do it.
I like that. And in terms of my final question for you here today, we are very early days here at PAY360. Yes. We're just still in the mornings of the first day. I'm just really interested to know what are you seeking to get out of PAY360 this year?
I'm looking forward to meet as many industry colleagues as possible. It can be partners that we use their services, it's the partners who are using our services. It can be the competition, it's the media, it's the schemes, it's just everyone. You need to be open to be discussing with everyone and listen to theirs. how is it going? What are they seeing? Just catch up with everyone.
That's really fantastic. Well, Enfuce are right in the centre of the floor, so I
Yes.
think you're well positioned to
We are.
to deliver that. Denise, it's been really fantastic to speak to you today.
Thank
Thank you
you.
so much for taking the time to speak with me, and I hope we can catch up again soon when
Yes.
when I'm out of this chair.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.